Hello and welcome to sentence diagramming exercise number 4. I hope that you did the warm-up already. If you haven't yet, pause the video immediately without looking at the screen so you don't get the answers right away because you should be getting the answers on your own. Okay, let's go over the warm-up. Number 1, prepositional phrases act as modifiers. They can be, which one? Adjectives, adverbs, or both? The answer is both. They can be either adjectives or adverbs. Number 2, a noun in a prepositional phrase cannot be anything else in the sentence. If it's a noun and it's in a prepositional phrase, it can't be a subject, it can't be a direct object, it can't be a predicate nominative. And that's why we parenthesize them, so that we don't get distracted by them. Okay, completing this table. What? As in a predicate adjective, a predicate nominative, or direct object? Well, it's a direct object that follows an action verb and is a noun. It is a predicate nominative that follows a linking verb and is a noun. It renames the subject. And is a predicate adjective that follows a linking verb and is an adjective. It describes the subject, even though it comes after the predicate. All right, I'm going to scroll up and erase. Let's get ready to do the diagrams this week. Okay, now that warm-up will turn out to be relevant as we get to the later sentences, because you're going to see something that we saw a little bit of last week, start to see it a little bit more now. Here's the first sentence. It was late in the evening. The first thing that we're going to do is identify the parts of sentence, and the first step in that is to identify prepositional phrases. Right? Because now we know that evening can't be the subject of the sentence because it's in a prepositional phrase. Here's the subject, it. Was is the predicate. It was what? It was late. Late is a predicate adjective. Follows a linking verb, is an adjective describing the subject. Now let's do the parts of speech, because there's obviously no direct object in this sentence. Noun, verb, adjective. Preposition, article, noun. And in this sentence, it was late in the evening is from the song Late in the Evening by the singer Paul Simon. Okay, we did the parts of speech. Let's set up the main line for the diagram. Here's our subject and predicate. Backward slanting line from rule of sentence diagramming number 1 for a sentence with a linking verb and a predicate adjective or nominative. And there's the predicate adjective. Now, how late was it? What is the manner in which it was late? It was late in the evening. In the evening describes late. Tells us how late it was. And if you're paying attention, you're realizing, oh, here's an example of a prepositional phrase acting as an adverb because it's describing an adjective, late. Hey, here's the next sentence. We're going to do it bit by bit. My time of day is the dark time. That's a line from a song in the musical Guys and Dolls. The first thing for you to do in identifying the parts of sentence is to parenthesize the prepositional phrases. So do that. Maybe pause the video if you need to. There's one prepositional phrase in this sentence. It's right there, of day. And now the next step is to, I dropped my marker cap. The next step is to identify the subject of the sentence and the predicate. And here they are. I hope you realize that time is the subject and the predicate is. Now the next question you need to ask yourself is what? As in, time is what? Well, in this case, time is time. So time answers the question what? So time is going to be a direct object, predicate adjective, or predicate nominative. Which one is it going to be? It's going to be, I hope you figured out already, a predicate nominative. It follows a linking verb. It is a noun. And hey, look, time and time are the same thing. And when you've got a predicate nominative, you're renaming the subject. Time is equal to time. Okay. There's no indirect object in this sentence. I hope you realized that already. So we're going to move on to parts of speech. Quick, label the parts of speech on your own. Pause the video if you need to. Okay. My is an adjective telling us what kind of time we're talking about. We're talking about my time. It is a possessive. That might be worth noting because that affects how we diagram it. Time is a subject. That's a noun. Of is a preposition. Day is a noun. Is, the predicate, is a verb. It's a linking verb if you want to be specific. The is an article. Dark is an adjective describing time, which is also a noun. Okay, go ahead, set up the main line for the sentence. Use rule of sentence diagramming number 1 in your handout to help you. And if you're not done yet, pause the video until you are done. Here's the main line: subject, predicate, predicate nominative, subject, time, predicate, is, predicate nominative, time. And that's a backward slanting line for the linking verb and the predicate nominative. The next thing to do is to diagram all the other modifiers. So go ahead and do that. Pause the video if you need to, and then we'll go over it. Okay, I'm going to go over it now. My is what kind of time it is. It's an adjective. It's a possessive, so it goes in a lazy L. It's the first word in the sentence, so it gets capitalized. What kind of time we're talking about? My time. What other time we're talking about is my time of day. So of day, preposition in the noun, diagonal line, horizontal line makes a lazy L. My time of day is what kind of time? The dark time. An article and an adjective describing the noun. That's the second sentence. All right. The third one's going to be a little bit tricky. I hope you're ready for it. Please start by identifying the parts of sentence. The first thing that you should do is parenthesize prepositional phrases, then identify the subject and predicate and the what, if there is one, and actually we'll stop there to go over things. Pause the video now. Okay, pick it up again. So in the sky is a prepositional phrase. This is a line from towards the end of A Midsummer Night's Dream. My soul is in the sky. In the sky is a prepositional phrase. The subject of the sentence is soul. The predicate of the sentence is is. Soul is what? Soul is in the sky. We saw this a little bit with the last lesson. Now we're seeing it again. We have in the sky acting as a prepositional phrase that is in turn acting as the predicate adjective. Because as you know from the warm-up, prepositional phrases are acting as adjectives or as adverbs. But they're acting all together as a group. So if they're doing that, if they can act all together as a group as an adjective or adverb, it stands to reason that if they can be adjectives, they can also be predicate adjectives. And that's what we've got going on here. The whole prepositional phrase, in the sky, is the predicate adjective. You can't separate out one word and say that's the predicate adjective, because it's the whole phrase that's the predicate adjective. Okay, please label the parts of speech. Pause the video till you're done, then we'll go over it. Okay. My is a possessive adjective, just like it was before. Soul is a noun, that's the subject of the sentence. Is the predicate, that's a linking verb. In is a preposition. The is an article. Sky is the noun, that's the object of the preposition. Okay, please set up the main line for yourself. Okay, here you've got a main line set up for a predicate adjective or predicate nominative that will go there. Soul is the subject, is the predicate, and in the sky, we have to find a way for this predicate adjective that's a prepositional phrase to all go on that line. There are two ways you can do it. You need a lazy L for a prepositional phrase. Here's one way you can do it. You can just take the built-in lazy L. See the diagonal and the horizontal there? You could do this. In sky. No. That's one way of doing it. And then my soul is in the sky. Oh, we're missing the my. Let's get that on there. Capitalized because it's the first word of the sentence. On a lazy L because it's a possessive. So this is one way to do it. There's another way you could do it too. You might remember it from the last lesson. And that's to create a stand. Now, when we use the stand is basically telling us, like, hey, everything on this stand is acting as a single grammatical unit in the sentence. Is it on the stand? Yes, then it's got to all go together as a single thing. In this case, it's a prepositional phrase that goes on the stand, acting as a single thing. My soul is in the sky. Looks like a little stick man a little bit. No head, that's okay. The preposition, the noun that's the object of the preposition, the article describing the noun. My soul is in the sky. And the fact that this is all on a stand tells us we're treating it as a single unit, which is as a predicate adjective. So this is something for you to watch out for going forward. Predicate adjectives that are actually prepositional phrases. The whole prepositional phrase is what answers the question, what? So watch for that. Start looking for it. It's going to be challenging for some of you at first, but that's okay.